Namaskaram. Welcome to another episode of Arimukham. Today we have with us a very accomplished choreographer, teacher and performer of Odissi art form, Srimati Bidisha Mohanty. She has been teaching in US for the past 16 years and before that in India. She has done various performances and she is a gold medalist in Odissi. An engineer by profession, she also holds an MA degree in Odissi. Let's welcome her to today's episode. Namaskaram. Welcome, Bidisha ji.
Namaskar, Lakshmi. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah. How was your journey in Odissi? We see it with all the graceful moves and it's such a graceful art form. Yeah. How young did you start learning it and what's your journey in this Odissi?
Sure. Thank you for the question and I would love to answer this. I started my Odissi journey when I was a little kid of 5 years old, and my parents took me to Guru Sri Durgacharan Ranbir, my Guruji. So I was in Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
I was born, brought up in Bhubaneswar, Odisha.
Okay.
That is the capital city of Odisha. And so they took me to Guruji, and Guruji said, yeah, then we can, she can come to the class and she can practice. She can join my class. So I went there and I was so much interested from a little kid. I was very much interested in this dance form. Somehow I love dancing. So that is because I didn't know what is Odissi and all that. So they just put me to that dance class. So I went, and every class, I went for the first one, then I was so much interested to go to the next one. So that interest was always there with me because I love to dance. Yeah. So it started like that. So I learned this dance from this beautiful dance from Guru Sri Durgacharan Ranbir. He is in Bhubaneswar in Odisha. And yeah.
So he still takes classes?
He still takes classes. He has his own school called Nritayan. Nritayan in Bhubaneswar. So yeah, he has his own classes and he always travels. Now because of pandemic, we have travel restrictions and all that, but he's always on the go. He has so many programs worldwide and all. He takes his classes. He has so many students, very accomplished students inside and outside of India. So yeah, that is how my journey started.
As a performer or a dancer, the learning process is so different. And when you become a teacher and you have students in front of you, it's a lot more, the effort-wise, the knowledge-wise, the responsibility-wise, it's all different.
Yes.
How has been your teaching experience so far? And at what age do you advise or recommend kids to start learning this art form? And how does it go, your experience in teaching?
Right. I would love to answer this. And why I want to answer this is when I started dancing, during that time our gurukuls are I feel like it's very strict and very rigorous practices were happening and all that. When I was learning through my learning years, it was for every class we have to go through all this exercises, even 1 hour, 2 hours of just exercises we'll be doing, because we have to make that fundamentals, that foundation strong, right? So even my Gurukul, my Guruji was pretty strict in everything, like the mudra has to be perfect, the bhangi has to be perfect, and we have to know the nuances of Odissi first. So Odissi has two main, I would say, bhangis, or main elements. Those are called chauka. That is a square shape. We sit like this, and the tribhangi. That is the three bends. So all the steppings depends on these two elements, major two elements, chauka and tribhangi. So Odissi back then was pretty rigorous, and all the practices, all the classes, everything. So we learned in a very strict manner. I am not complaining, but that was really good, But here, after coming to the US, here the environment is different. The whole setup between parents, students, and the teacher. I always say it's a triangle, because to learn a dance for a student, it has to be parent, it has to be a teacher's participation, their contribution as well. So that triangle is completely different in the USA setup, I would say.
Back in India, the parents didn't have much role.
Exactly.
Except for, picking and dropping. They didn't
Yes.
have a voice in it.
Yes.
But it's much different here.
Yes. And back then, the parents, they left everything to the guru. Even they just I can talk about my parents. So I go to the dance class, I come. My parents hardly ask me like how is everything going.
Okay.
Sometimes they ask, it's going well and all that. So they know there is somebody, my guruji, my teacher, who is taking care of me.
Yeah.
Here, I think we are in a very close setup.
And very competitive.
Yeah, it's very competitive, and parents' expectations are more. So I always feel that when I started my classes here, my teaching here, so I feel that I have to not break exactly. I want to do it in a different way.
Okay.
My teaching in a different way. I will be strict.
Correct.
I know I have to take care of all the fundamentals, the nuances of Odissi, because the kids have to learn that.
Correct.
The beginner level, we have to start with that.
Yes,
the
correct.
foundation has to be strong. But my teaching was completely different.
The approach was different.
Yeah,
yes.
the approach was different, and I wanted it that way.
Okay.
So when somebody joins my dance class, I take it, all my dance classes, all my classes, I take it in a very fun way.
Okay.
I'm strict, but it's like very fun way. We start that class, throughout the class, like we joke and we learn, but still we have fun. So that is what I have been following. That, I think, was missing a little bit when we were growing up.
I think it helps connect to the teacher more.
Connect to the
right?
teacher
Yes.
more, yeah. And here we have a different setup in USA.
Correct.
So I feel, and whenever somebody joins my class, I always talk to the parents, to the kids, and myself, like three of us. It's a triangle.
Correct.
So I always talk to them.
Okay.
You send your kid to my class. I will do whatever best I can. She is going to learn from me, but it is you also who has to contribute to
Correct.
this, whole setup.
The connection between...
The connection, yeah.
Our culture, dance, art forms, all are very much related to the temples. The divine or the bhakti, that's the spiritual connection.
Yeah.
It helps a lot, even from the young age when we dance.
Yes.
But that's very much different here. Here, the temple-wise, the ritual-wise, even the visit to the temples is very different.
Yeah.
Do you think the kids need a little bit more on the spiritual side to understand what we are teaching or to connect? I think mostly the happy mood or angry mood would be easier for them. But when it comes to the bhakti rasa and all, have you ever felt like it's a bit difficult to connect to the kids?
When you are learning a dance form, a classical dance form, you have to know the spirituality behind that dance form. You know the story, the richness of culture behind that dance form. So I feel when somebody, kids, or when somebody is starting the, a classical dance form, they need to have that spirituality, need to have that sense of spirituality within them. And like for me, my class structure, I can say. So every class, I make sure that not only practical, I go into the theoretical aspect of Odissi. And we talk about stories like, Ramayana, Mahabharata, different kinds of stories we talk. And when we are doing Nabarasas, different emotions, right? Those things, like I always teach in the class, and every class is has been in 2 parts, I could say, a practical aspect and a theoretical aspect. And to come to your point, like spirituality, I feel yes, the spiritual aspect should be there, definitely be there within the kids, and that we would help them. We would show them like how to follow the way. It's parents, it's the teachers.
Yes. Is there a difference in teaching the girls and the boys? And do you have boy students or the male students in Odissi here?
That's a beautiful question. I would love to answer that. I always, encourage boys in the field of classical dancing. Because dance has no barriers,
Correct.
right? Yeah, be it a boy, be it a girl, if they have interest, if they excel in that field, then definitely they should, pursue this dance form. And yes, we have dancers in Odissi, here in the Bay Area, here in the US and also in India. So I would definitely encourage them. I would definitely ask the parents to give them an opportunity to at least see, try.
Yes.
See how they, when you think of, I like Odissi, so give them an opportunity. It's not that, oh no, Odissi is not for you, or this classical dancing is not for you. No, we should not do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would definitely encourage the parents to give an opportunity, at least the boys, to
If they show
pursue.
interest,
If they show interest.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, in this pandemic, it's been almost 2 years and still things are happening over the internet. How was your dance class before that, and how are the online classes? Are you still having online classes? Do you take more students in through online classes, or it's just for the existing students through online?
During the pandemic, the classes were all online.
Okay.
And there were so many challenges, actually, I would say. If we have advanced students, if you have intermediate students, they can pick up the step and all that. But when we have beginners, small kids, it's a little hard. Even if you teach them in the, through online, then I used to send the videos for everything. Even when we go through the theory, any kind of theory, hand gestures, foot movements, even of dance, I send the videos. Okay. But even with the videos, it's a little difficult for them to look at the video and pick up the step. So we had challenges, during pandemic for the online dance form, online dancing, I would say. Now I have in-person classes, and also I have online classes because still there are kids who are 12 years and under, and they are not vaccinated. And parents would they had requested me to have the online classes. So it's basically a hybrid way of learning I'm doing right now. I would always prefer in-person classes for every level of dancing, I would say. And during the pandemic, actually pandemic was, as I said, it's a blessing in disguise because we had so many performances and everybody was at home, right? The parents, they were working from home, the working parents and all that, and the kids are at home. So any performance, and they don't have the, worry of commute or something like that. So whenever some performances came, then they would learn, online, or I would send a video, they would practice, and then they would perform.
So how do the kids take it, like the stage and the camera? How is it different? Would there be programs that are organized only for online and at the same time in person? And how are they different, like in terms of practice as well, recording as well? If somebody goes wrong, maybe we could take a retake for the camera, but it's different for the stage.
Yeah.
So for the stage, do we need to have a different kind of preparation with the kids, or how is it going to be?
Yeah. So stage performances, I love stage performances. Every time you have live performance, it's a different feeling.
Right.
Yeah. So, and there is no retakes.
Yes.
There is no retakes for any live performances. And yes, for live performances, even for online performances, we try to minimize the retakes. We try to practice more. Yes, practice more. And for me personally, I always feel, and my students can vouch for that. I always feel that even if it is a small performance or it is a big performance, no matter what, you have to practice nicely before you deliver. That is very important. I always make sure that even if it is a small performance, you have to give your best. You have to practice and then go for the performance.
When we are talking about Bharatanatyam and other art form, we always use the Natvangam, the teachers. Is it the same for Odissi as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So do the kids also have to learn a part of Natvangam as part of this theory lessons? Or does it come into picture only when they are like the advanced students and when they start performing on their own? Or maybe teach in future? Is that where the Natvangam classes come into picture?
Yeah, it starts from right when they join the class. Yes. I start very early, and for all other teachers also, I believe they would be definitely doing that. So we start when they join my class, and also we say the talam, right? You say, the tala, and everything starts right there.
In India, we have so many certifications. People get like along with their studies, they do
Yes.
degrees, and they always have a theoretical and a structured process in learning, not just once in a while along with the classes.
Right.
Is there anything like that here as well, which you do with your students?
Yes, we have. Like I said, like for every class, I teach both practical and theory. Okay, and we also, my students also give, yearly exams,
Okay.
annual, biannual exams from
Okay.
different, those very renowned exam centers, institutions in India,
Okay.
like Akhil Bharatiya Gandharva Mahavidyalaya Mandal,
Okay.
like Prachin Kala Kendra.
Okay.
So my own institution, Indradhanush, is an affiliation from Prachin Kala Kendra,
Okay.
India. So that is in Chandigarh, India. So they give yearly exams. They
Okay.
also give, some of them also give the biannual exams. So we prepare. We have exam preparation classes. Yeah, I
Okay.
take exam preparation classes. I prepare them, both theory and practical, whatever is there in the syllabus and something extra also.
Okay.
Yes, so we do, and they give the exams.
Okay.
We have practical exams. We have theory exams.
I just want to know, where do you live? Where is your dance school? And as we are having these conversations under Shanmugha Theatres, what do you think such a platform help you and the students?
Oh, my message to them is definitely, believe in yourself.
Okay.
Always stay positive, be happy,
Okay.
keep dancing. And I really admire, Ryan Nathanji for, doing this interview sessions with the teachers. I really appreciate Shanmugha Theatres for doing this, and it's a very nice platform, beautiful platform for not only for teachers, for students, for all budding dancers as well. So I would love to have this, looking forward to having more of this kind of shows. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Could you please tell us about your dance school? How
Sure.
can parents reach out to you if they want to bring the students?
Yes. So my dance school is Indradhanush Center for Excellence, and we are located in Evergreen, San Jose.
Okay.
I take classes around the Bay Area in San Jose, Fremont, in South Bay, and also I have out-of-state students now through online. Yeah. So they can reach me at indradhanush.com. That is my website.
Okay.
And my phone number 408-582-2545, and my email address is vidisha.mahanti@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for taking your time and being part of Shanmugha Theatres Arumugam.
Thank you so much,
It's been a
Lakshmi.
pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.